Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast. Today is Motivation Monday, and I am live in my Limitless Creators Hub in Facebook. This is a free group, so you can join me every single Monday at 10 a.m. CST, or you can listen on Apple, Spotify, or watch the replay on YouTube. I am Jane Bellante, and today we're diving into something really foundational and really transformative. And if you let this episode land, it could really and truly change how you create everything in your life and your business from this day forward. So today we're talking about the law of intention and how it intersects with something that most people completely overlook when it comes to manifestation and momentum. And this would be your habits. So here is the truth. You don't get what you intend. You get what you repeat. And if your actions, your thoughts, and your identity aren't aligned with the intentions you say you want, you're going to keep creating results you don't actually mean to create. So let's unpack this. Welcome to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast, the show where creativity meets strategy and mindset meets success. I'm Jane Bellante, artist, coach, and creative entrepreneur, here to help you break free from self-doubt, clear limiting beliefs, and build a business that aligns with who you truly are. Each week, we dive into the mindset shifts, visibility strategies, and creative breakthroughs that help you turn your passion into a thriving business without burnout, overthinking, or perfectionism holding you back. If you're ready to step into your power, create with confidence, and grow a business you love, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. If you are here live with me now, please do say hello. And you can ask your questions in real time. And you can comment, reply, whatever. I am here for you today on Monday. So let's kind of dive into this because intention alone isn't enough. So we want to start with this. Good morning, Lynn. Oh, I'm so excited to work with you. I can't even tell you. I'm like literally bouncing off of my seat. Hi, Leanne. Woo! Okay, it is Motivation Monday, right? Okay, so we're starting with this truth bomb. Setting an intention is not the same as living it. So most of us set intentions like this. And it's mostly with a want. And a want is like prefrontal cortex thinking, right? It's not what's ingrained, and I always point to the back of my head, but in your subconscious brain. It's not what the beliefs we have ingrained. It is prefrontal cortex thinking. And these intentions go like this. I want more time. I want to make more money. I want to grow my business. I want more freedom. I want to create more art. I want to create more coaching clients. I want to create more people coming to my thing, whatever that is, right? Hey, Tracy, good morning. I think Michelle is here. Welcome. Happy Monday. So we set intentions very ambiguously. But we wake up the next day and act like the version of us who's still stuck in survival. We're still scrolling. We're still overthinking. We're still hiding. We're still comparing, even though we said we didn't want to, even though we said we were going to change. It's not the aligned action we said we were going to do the day before. Like, oh my God, I'm totally going to do this. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. And then we wonder why our business doesn't grow, why our art isn't selling, why we're not getting more one-on-one coaching clients, why people aren't signing up for our classes, our membership groups, etc. And we wonder why we still feel unclear, we still feel unmotivated, we still feel behind. Because the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you believe. And it's whether you realize it or not. But here's the thing to understand. Your beliefs are revealed to you through your habits. Lisa is here and she said, girl, this is my life right now. And literally, it's everybody's. We just have to understand this, how that subconscious brain controls everything. So I want to talk about what the law of intention really is. It's this principle that what you intend with clarity, conviction, and aligned action begins to take form in your life. It's not wishing, it's not hoping, it's not creating vision board after vision board after vision board. It's energetic alignment, it's subconscious agreement, and it's repeated embodiment. Repeated embodiment, right? Because what are habits? There's something you repeat. And habits are something you repeat so often that you don't even have to tell yourself to do it, right? It's just a habit. And again, it's whether you realize it or not. So the moment you say, I intend to be visible in my business, but your habits are still waiting to feel ready, still putting off the post, still avoiding the camera, still thinking that your art isn't good enough, even though you love it, still thinking that what you create in your membership group, the transformation for your coaching clients, whatever, hiding behind like this vague messaging because we literally have such a hard time describing what we do and who we are. So the moment you say, I intend to be visible in my business, but you do all of these things still, you've contradicted your own intention. And that contradiction creates resistance. And guess what resistance creates? Confusion. And confusion creates stagnation. I went through a significant portion of my life, but not only my life, but my business, saying, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I know I'm a good artist, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know I'm a great coach, blah, blah, blah. I'm so confused. Why isn't this happening? Why isn't this happening? It's because your prefrontal cortex, we can understand these things conceptually, but your subconscious brain is running the show. So if I sat and believed that I was not good enough, that I did not fit in, that, I didn't belong, that's what was coming back to me. Even if I intended to do something else and I went and did all the things, I wasn't being the person that I really wanted to be. I wasn't being worthy. I wasn't being the person who did fit in, right? I wasn't being the person who was crystal clear on what I wanted to do in my life and in my business. I was letting myself be in confusion because I was contradicting my own intention. Does that make sense? So your habits are an expression of your identity. And you've heard me say this before, and I will say it again, but your identity creates your results. It isn't your to-do list. It isn't the goals. Even though we have great intentions, that's what we're talking about today, by creating these goals, if our subconscious brain doesn't believe that we can do that, we'll never do that. We'll never reach those goals. Because your subconscious identity, and this is who you believe you are, is running the show. It's wild. And it's something that you have to keep telling yourself. So if you intend to become a confident and visible business owner, but you've habitually operated from the identity of I'm not ready, I'm not consistent, my left eye is smaller than my right eye, I can't show my face, I'm not good at marketing, I'm not sure, I could be an imposter, I think I'm a good coach, I think I'm a good teacher, but I'm not sure. I'm afraid people will leave. I'm afraid I can't handle this. I'm afraid my creativity will go away. Then that identity will override your intentions every single time. Lynn says, makes a lot of sense. And then Lisa says, she needs to stop running my show. And this is what we're talking about today, is the intention. And it is creating new commitments to new habits. Because otherwise, that subconscious brain is just going to keep repeating the same beliefs over and over and over. And you're going to keep your own pattern of lack that keeps you at the bottom of the black hole. And this is what I really want you to hear. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. And your habits reveal your true identity, what is running the show, where you are actually working from. Because again, conceptually, we can go, well, yeah, I know I'm worthy. I know I'm worthy. I know I fit in. I know I'm enough. We can conceptually say that. But if our subconscious brain is repeating other patterns, we'll never meet. It'll never come together. And we talk about like law of attraction. If this is where you're running from, the belief that you are unworthy, even if you conceptually believe you're worthy, that's the frequency that's going out, and that's the frequency that you will get back in. Unworthy, not enough, not good enough. And you've heard me say before, like, I ran on not enough forever. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. There's never enough. There's never enough. And what was happening in my life, in my business, there was never enough. Because when your brain believes it is when you see it. So my brain believed I was not enough and I never had enough. And that was what was showing up all around me, all the time, everywhere. Even though I had an intention to have a very successful business, it didn't matter. I'm not enough, I'm not worthy was running the show. So who here understands this? Who here is beginning to see that in themselves? You know, and again, I show up here because I've done all of this, and these realizations have helped me change not only my business, but my whole life. It's all changed. 100% possible, 100% of the time. Rooted in possibility. And I have to remind myself of this all the time. That is the commitment. It's the commitment to the habit that I am worthy. And doing the things that help my body feel safe in this knowing. Because right now it feels safe, or it did feel safe, or will continually feel safe in the knowing of unworthiness. Even if we hate it, even if we hate feeling anxiety all the time, even if we hate feeling that stress all the time, that is the known. And there is safety in the known. But what that's doing is creating disease in your body. So the commitment to telling myself I love myself, telling myself I'm amazing, telling myself, I can do this. I am pure possibility. I am rooted and grounded in my intention of sharing this information because of how much it has changed my life. Lynn says, after last week, I've been walking around saying no more lack hole. I'm not a lack hole. You calling me a lack hole? I'm not a lack hole. Tracy says 1,000%. Hey, Royce. Oh my gosh, Royce, we're like a week away. Oh. I'm teaching at Royce's retreat in a week. Well, a week and 2 days. I'm so excited. So excited. So I want to say this again. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits, and your habits reveal your identity. So if your habits are rooted in fear, rooted in scarcity, avoidance, or hustle, that's what you're reinforcing in your energy field. And that is what the law of intention is responding to. So we want to understand how to realign our intentions with our habits so that we can finally start creating the results that we actually want. So I'm going to give you 4 steps here. And the first one is starting with one clear intention. We don't need 10, we just need 1. So in the comments, if you're brave, and I know you are because you're here. Roy says, I'm so excited. Woohoo! If you're brave, I know you're brave, you're showing up, you want to change your business, you want to change your life. In the comments, I want you to put, what is the one thing you say that you want, but you aren't consistently acting on? So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I want to sell more art. I want to grow my audience. I want more one-to-one clients. I want to teach more workshops. Choose one thing that you say that you want, but you know that you aren't consistently acting on. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Lisa, I was a hairdresser. My life was pleasing other people. At 65, I now work on pleasing me. I closed my biz last year and I'm enjoying retirement where I'm learning all the things I pushed aside. Canvas has been my fear. I'm trying to make the intention to devote to it. Yeah, and why is it a fear? It's like, you want to do it. So why are you telling yourself you're afraid of it? Like, just take the canvas and make it messy. Take a crayon or a pencil, or put some paint on a brush and just scribble on it for a second. And then it's not a white canvas anymore. And then you feel like, okay, I can do this. You're telling yourself you're afraid of it. So instead of doing that, what if you told yourself you can't wait to do this? That's an intention. I can't wait to create art. That feels so much better than I am afraid of the canvas, doesn't it? It's just these little baby tweaks, I'm not good enough. Yeah, I get it. Who's putting it? Who's brave? Who's brave? What's the one thing you say you want? And let's just make it easy. Like, most of the people, I know Lisa's not, but most of the people here are building a business. What's the one thing you say you want, but you're not consistently acting on? Be brave. Put it out there. Because once you reveal it, it's easy to change it. I'm waiting for the comments. You can do it. What is the one thing you say you want, but you're not consistently acting on? Okay, I'm going to move on, but I want to see that in the comments if you're here, okay? Step number 2 is ask yourself, who would I be if this were already done? Selling my art. Yes, Tracy. Yes, to be more confident with vulnerability. That's so good. That's so good. Who would I be if this were already done? So this is identity alignment. So if this was already done, this thing that you just put in the comments, or this thing that you're thinking about in your brain that you're afraid to put in the comments, this is identity alignment. Would you be avoiding action? Would you be stuck in perfectionism, overthinking, imposter syndrome? Or would you be showing up even imperfectly, but with power? Because you've heard me say this before, 70% is perfect, 100% is overthought. If you try to get something at 100% before you put it out there, you're never going to put it out there because you can't define what perfect is. Oh, cool. Tracy said, yesterday I worked through your fear reflection worksheet. That's awesome. Step number 3 is audit your habits honestly. So are they reinforcing your desired identity or your past one? Right? Your habits. These are your habits that you do daily. They're habits because you don't even have to think about them, because they're your habits. Dr. Dispenza talks about the body brain. And that's what habits are, is like they're so ingrained in your body just takes over your brain. You don't even have to think about it. So are your habits reinforcing your desired identity or your past identity? The habit of hitting snooze or procrastination, the habit of saying, I'm going to do it later, your habit of over-consuming and under-creating, your habit of scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And none of these are wrong, but they are feedback. So it is just important for you to kind of understand what you're doing. This is feedback. Is this habit of scrolling for 2 hours or 25 minutes or whatever you let yourself do, is that helping you create the you that you actually want to be, capital B-E? Who are you being? Because the person that has the business that you want, they're not scrolling on social media all day long. They're not comparing themselves. They're not letting themselves overthink. They are putting out their offers, whatever that is. That's your art, your coaching, your classes, your retreats, whatever it is. They're putting that out 70% perfect because they get information and then they use that as evidence for how they want to change the next time they do it. Does that make sense? Tell me if that makes sense to you. Over-consuming and under-creating. Yeah. Like, and how do you feel when you're sitting and scrolling? Knocked over my crystal. How do you feel when you're sitting and scrolling? Because I know I can spot it immediately. I feel disgusting, horrible. I feel it in my stomach. It's this like black cloud that comes over me. Sometimes we do it out of just being tired and we're like, trying to, whatever, pass the time. But how do you actually feel? What you thought about yesterday creates your today. What you do today creates your tomorrow. I now am creating, I think that's supposed to say quiet time blocks where I work in silence. I love that. So you get to choose new habits that match your future self so that you can embody that now. Because we can all do that. We can all do that. And our habits are repetitive thoughts that turn into actions, right? And that is that neural pathway in your brain, and it will always be there. So what we want to do is we want to create new neural pathways. This is called neuroplasticity. Our brains are able to be formed, and if we intentionally form them, we become the person that we're meant to be. So step 4 is choosing one identity aligned habit today. We don't want to do 10, we just want to do 1. Quiet time blocks, yeah. I spend too much time watching all the workshops I've purchased and not started. I let daily life get in the way. I feel like that's a lot of us. I'm sure a lot of people watching this or listening to the replay can identify with that. We try to find the answer outside of ourselves all the time, and then we don't show up for it because that's our habits, right? Even if we have the intention, because we purchased the workshop, if we have the intention of doing it, if our habits are we don't believe we're ever going to do that, guess what we're never going to do? Scrolling endlessly makes me feel even more like I'm not doing enough and comparing creeps up. It is a gross feeling. It's totally gross. It's totally gross. And like, what feels better? Letting yourself just explore and play in your art, creating your courses, creating better programs for your coaching clients. The thing that you create, right? We are creatives. Whether or not we identify with artist, it doesn't matter. You are a creative entrepreneur, solo female creative entrepreneur, because we are creating our business. So if your intention is visibility, maybe the habit is I show up on video once a week no matter what. Or it's like I show up wherever my customers are no matter what. If your intention is consistency, maybe the habit is I create before I consume. How does that feel? Say that out loud. I create before I consume. That feels good, and that feels like freedom to me. And you will notice that you are consuming less and less and less and less of the 3D world because you are allowing yourself to be in your flow, and it feels so good. So whatever habit you choose, this habit becomes your anchor because now your intention has proof, your identity is shifting, and you're moving forward and stepping into the shoes of that business owner that you want to be. So, you're not unmotivated, you're not lazy, you're not behind. You've just been setting intentions from an identity that isn't fully aligned yet. But that does change the moment you decide to show up like the version of you who already has what she wants. That's when momentum starts to build. That's when the law of intention starts working with you and not against you. Because now your thoughts and your beliefs and your actions and your energy are in agreement. So I'm right in the middle of my launch for Ignite, and the doors to Ignite are open right now. And if this conversation is lighting something up inside of you, if you have been hesitating to join, if you've been realizing that you've been setting powerful intentions, but your identity and your habits haven't been backing them up, Ignite will help you align with all of this because we start from the inside out. It's not a surface level program, and it isn't another one of those programs that you can go, well, maybe these 5 steps will help me. This is actual identity alignment. And when you know your identity, you can know your customer, you can know how you help them, and then you can be visible doing that. We start from the inside out. and actually build from aligned action. It's 6 months, and it literally could be the exact container you need to stop living from these default identity belief patterns and start deliberately creating a business that reflects the real you. It really feels so good to show up in my business now. I'm not questioning. I'm not stuck in imposter syndrome. Why? Because I know that when I show up in my truth, it helps other people do the same thing. And that's a domino effect, and it feels so good. So I know that some of the people watching are already signed up, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited. We start next week, Tuesday. Whoop, whoop. Because when you align your identity, your intention, and your habits, you become unstoppable. This group is called Limitless Creators. You become limitless. You stop chasing and forcing the results, and you start embodying them. And that's when momentum becomes your new normal. So if you've been hesitating to sign up for Ignite, if it's the money, contact me. Because again, your brain is in the lack hole about receiving money and keeping money. So like we can change that. If that's where you're working from, guess what you are attracting in? Not enough money. Been there, done that. I'm done with it now. But if that is your particular pattern of lack, message me. We can create payment plans. I can create whatever kind of a payment plan I want to create. If this is resonating with you, get in. I have seen it change hundreds of women's lives now. And it's everything. So I want you to ask yourself, what do I intend to create? And what is one habit I can commit to this week that aligns with that intention? By the way, the link for Ignite is in the pinned comment in this post. Oh, Michelle, thank you so much. She said, Ignite has been such a transformative experience for me. It's like a truth bomb. And when you start to understand it, you begin to change and you don't let yourself sink back into your particular pattern of lack that sinks you into the lack hole. You're forever changed. And one of the things I remember Michelle saying is like these, the beliefs keep coming back, but now she has tools. She has tools to not combat them because we're not fighting, but we're just realigning and we're recommitting to the intention that we really, really, really want. It's dismissing those thoughts of doubt. Thoughts of doubt. Anyways. And it is realigning to the commitment that you really want. So this is how it begins. One thought, one shift, one new habit at a time. And I generally end by saying you are 100% possible 100% of the time. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. But again, if your brain doesn't believe it, you're not going to see it. So you can hear me say that and you can go, I'm 100% possible 100% of the time. I intend to be 100% possible 100% of the time. But if you're sinking back into your old identity and your old habits, you'll never let yourself be that. Tracy says, every morning I take 5 to 8 minutes to create after waking up. Creating a new habit to walk at least 30 minutes every day. Walking to allow my mind to wander. I think I'll pair it with my business and use that time to explore these mindful guidances introduced in Ignite. No, that's awesome. I love that so much. So I would love to see you inside of Ignite. If it's tweaking your interest and you're like, oh my God, I really wish I could do that, please message me. There are ways to get you started. I really feel like it is my purpose in life. Like I have stepped into it now to help you understand this, to help you stop spinning your wheels, stop spinning 75 plates, stop doubting yourself, stop telling yourself you're not good enough, stop overthinking, stop being rooted in perfectionism, and to align with who you really are and what you love so that you can create an amazing business. And I've seen it happen not only with myself, but with the clients that I work with time and time again. So thank you so much for being here. for Motivation Monday. Join me on Wednesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube for the Creative Business Mindset podcast. And I will see you right here next week, Monday. Have a great week, everyone.